All right, let's just get right into it. We need to have a serious talk about why you keep starting, stopping, and never ever finishing. And just so we're clear, this is not going to be another rah-rah motivational speech. Think of this more as an intervention. Because the truth is, you don't need more motivation, you need a system. A system that actually works when you don't feel like it. Something that shows up to work when motivation decides to call in sick. So first, we have to pull back the curtain on the trap that almost everyone falls into. It's a cycle that's so common, so insidious, you're probably living in it right now and you don't even know it. It's what I call the motivation trap. Does that sound familiar? I mean, one day you are on fire. You're meal prepping for the week, you're mapping out your 5-year plan, you are ready to absolutely conquer the world. And then the next day, the thought of just answering a single email feels like you're being asked to climb Mount Everest. Look, this isn't some personal failing. It's a built-in feature of the broken system you're trying to use. And right here, this is the boom and bust cycle in all its glory. You get this sudden jolt of inspiration, maybe you watched a video, maybe you just got a good night's sleep for once, and bam, you go all in. You're suddenly at the gym for 2 hours, you write 10 pages of your novel, you deep clean the entire house. But that fire hose of energy, it always fades to a trickle. And then, inevitably, nothing. You stop. And you tell yourself, it's okay, I'll just wait. I'll get back to it when I feel inspired again. You're just trapped, stuck in this endless loop of false starts and dead ends, forever waiting for a feeling that was never, ever meant to last. So let's just be crystal clear about what's really going on here. You don't have a motivation problem. You have a reliance problem. You are trying to power a cross-country road trip with a firework. Yeah, it's a spectacular start, for sure, but it is absolutely guaranteed to leave you stranded, miles and miles from where you want to go. So why on earth do we do this to ourselves? Why do we keep chasing this feeling that we know is going to disappear? Well, it's not entirely your fault. It's kind of your brain's default programming. So let's take a look at the neuroscience of what's really happening inside your head. You know, most of us have dopamine all wrong. Thanks to neuroscientists like Andrew Huberman, we're starting to understand that it's not the pleasure chemical you get after you achieve something. No, it's the molecule of pursuit. It's that craving, that desire, that engine that makes you get up and go towards something. It's the energy for the hunt, not the satisfaction of the feast. And that's the key. You see, you're not actually addicted to the reward at the finish line. You're addicted to the neurological high of the chase itself. That feeling we call motivation, that's just your brain giving you a hit of dopamine to get you to start moving. It was never designed to get you all the way there. Think of it like this. Motivation is a firework. It's a spectacular, bright burst that gets everyone's attention, but it burns out in seconds, leaving you right back in the dark. Discipline, on the other hand, that's an engine. It's not flashy, it's not exciting, it's just a steady, reliable, consistent hum, day after day after day. One gives you a momentary thrill, the other actually gets you somewhere. So which one do you really want powering your life? And this brings us to a really crucial mindset shift. See, most of us think of discipline as a personality trait. It's something you're either born with or you're not. That is completely 100% wrong. Discipline isn't a trait you have, it's a skill you build from scratch. I love this analogy because it just makes so much sense. Think of discipline like a skill in a video game. Nobody is born with a maxed out character, right? Everybody starts at level 0. So how do you level up? You go out and you face resistance. Every single time you choose to do something you don't feel like doing, making your bed, washing one dish, doing just 2 push-ups, you gain a few experience points. The more resistance you face and overcome, the stronger that skill becomes. So let's just put them side by side so it's perfectly clear. Motivation is emotional. It's unreliable. It's a temporary boost that's really only good for starting. But discipline is systematic. It's reliable. It's a permanent engine that's built for the hard part, finishing. One is a spark, the other is the machine you build, piece by painful piece, to actually reach your destination. Now, this is where a lot of people get it twisted. They hear the word discipline and they immediately think of punishment, right? Of joyless grinding and just hating your life. But the most powerful, the most sustainable form of discipline, it actually comes from the exact opposite place. Will Smith framed this perfectly in an interview. He thinks of it like a conversation with himself. It's like, man, I know you want that pizza, and I know it'll feel amazing for about 10 minutes, But I love you too much to let you eat that because I know exactly how you're going to feel tomorrow. See? It's not about restriction. It's about protection. It's about treating your future self like someone you are responsible for taking care of. And this is the real danger of that whole grind culture mentality. If the reason you're pushing yourself comes from a place of hating who you are right now, hating your body, hating your bank account, hating your life, it just becomes self-punishment. And that is a corrosive fuel that will absolutely burn you out. But when discipline comes from a place of love for the person you are trying to become, that's when it's sustainable. It's not about hating where you are. It's about loving yourself enough to do the hard work to get where you know you can be. And let's be real for a second. Let's have a little vibe check. You already have an incredible amount of discipline. I mean, the ability to focus intensely on one thing for an extended period, even when it's totally unproductive, that is discipline. You can binge watch an entire season of a show in one sitting. You can scroll on your phone until 2 in the morning, fighting off sleep. The skill is there. You're just pointing that powerful weapon at all the wrong targets. Okay, so we've gone deep on the why. Now, let's switch gears to the how. What is the practical, no excuses system you can put in place literally today that works even when, and maybe especially when, you don't feel like it? This is what we call the anti-motivation system. So here's the system, built on 4 simple principles. First, do the hard thing first. Start your day by immediately tackling something you're resisting. This builds your tolerance for discomfort right out of the gate. Second, eliminate friction. Make it painfully easy to do the right thing. Lay out your gym clothes the night before, put the book you want to read on your pillow. The fewer decisions you have to make, the better. Third, start embarrassingly small. Your goal isn't to be a hero on day 1, it's to never miss a day. Do 5 push-ups. Write 1 sentence. That's it. We're building consistency, not intensity. And finally, use your body to move your mind. When you're stuck in your head, get out of it and get into your body. A quick walk, 5 minutes of stretching, even just a few deep breaths can completely change your mental state. Action is the ultimate cure for overthinking. And this is the mantra. Seriously, write it down, put it on a sticky note on your monitor. You do not need to feel ready. That feeling is a luxury, not a prerequisite for action. You just need to start. Take the first, tiniest possible step. Action creates the feeling, not the other way around. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final reframe of all this. Because once you truly understand this, everything changes. The choice you're making every single day isn't actually the one you think it is. We think the choice is simple, right? It's, do I face the discomfort of the workout or do I enjoy the comfort of the couch? But that's not the real equation. That's just a little trick your brain plays on you to keep you safe and comfortable and stuck. Here is the real choice. It's between 2 different types of pain. On one side, you have the short-term, acute, productive pain of discipline. It's difficult, sure, but it builds you into someone stronger. On the other side, you have the chronic, soul-crushing, long-term pain of regret. Both paths involve pain. You can't avoid it, but one of them is an investment, and the other one is a life sentence. So, which one do you choose? And that brings us to the final question, the one for you to take with you. And be brutally honest with yourself here. How much of your life is spent waiting to feel inspired, waiting to feel motivated, just waiting to feel like it before you finally take action on the life you keep saying you want? The clock is ticking.